Hi all of you. Today we are going to start with the ledger. So for a ledger we need to understand what you mean by the ledger. So ledger is the secondary books of account. क्या होता है सबसे पहले हमारा जनरल बनता है देन वी हैव अ लेजर देन ट्रायल बैलेंस देन प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस देन द बैलेंस शीट सो what mean by the ledger? Ledger is the secondary books of account which contains detail of one type of transaction in a single place. Like in a journal entry, we are making many entries, but how we know what is the consolidated balance in a particular account? So for that we need to prepare ledger. So I have prepared general and ledger tab and also the trial balance so that you will understand how the entries reflecting in a ledger and trial balance. I am giving you one example like mm, uh, an owner introduce his capital into the business, so how the entry will be reflect in a ledger and in the trial balance. So I am going to one by one, like first general entry, that is bank account debit to capital account. In that case, because money is coming, पैसा आ रहा है, that is the reason we are debiting the bank account and crediting the capital account. So how it will reflect in a ledger? So here I have shown the balance like in, in a bank account. So how it is prepared, so and how it is look like in a ledger we have to show the particular date particular amount. This is a debit side and this is a credit side. This is a debit side of an account of and this is a credit side of an account. Like in a first entry, bank account debit to capital account. So in a bank account we have to show to capital account here, and in a capital account we have to show bank in a by bank, because bank is showing in a debit and capital is showing in a credit. So this is a two side and this is called buy side. So बैंक क्या करेगा, बैंक अपने में शो करेगा टू कैपिटल एंड कैपिटल करेगा अपने में शो बाय बैंक. इफ़ यू सी टू कैपिटल, कैपिटल जब अकाउंट हम लोग बनाएंगे तो इसमें हम लोग करेंगे बाय बैंक एंड बैंक में करेंगे टू कैपिटल. सो इफ़ यू सी हियर आई हैव शोन द capital in a two side, bank account debit to capital on 1st of April 2024, and in a capital account we have to show buy bank 10 lakh rupees in a credit side. I hope it will helpful for you guys. I have prepared many examples for you. Like then another example is salary. If the business paid a salary through the bank, so our entry will be salaries account debit to bank account. So in that case we have to show because our money is going, so in that case we have to credit it, and the reason of crediting the balance account bank account is a salary. So here we have to prepare salary account and we have to prepare bank account, but we have already prepared the bank account, so we don't need to prepare bank account again. In that case, for a salary account, here if you see salary in a salary account, it is a debit and bank is in credit, that is a two side, and salary is in buy side. Upper side is called a buy side and lower side is a two side. So in this transaction we have paid the salary to our employees. So in that case we have to post the entry in a salary account as well as in the bank account. In that case, if you see here in the salary account I have shown two bank, that is 60,000. If you see here, 60,000 rupees. And in a bank account, because I am showing the two bank here, so in a bank account I have to post the entry in a bank account by salary. If you see here, in a bank account I have shown the salary in a buy side, buy salary, that is a 60,000. I hope it is easy to understand you guys. Then our next entry is a rent account debit to bank account. In this case, rent is in buy side and bank is in to side, so I have to prepare, that is a rent account. If you see, I have prepared the rent account here, rent account here. uh, 1 second. So in our rent account, I in our rent account I have to show to rent here, to rent, and the amount is 40,000, and the date is 3rd of April. Here, and our total will be 45,000. Here if you see, to bank, to bank account, I have paid, if the business has paid the rent, so our entry will be rent account debit to bank account. In that case, in a rent account we have to show rent account debit to bank, and in a bank account I have to show by rent. If you see here, so guys, every entry has a two side, that are debit and credit side, and for every transaction we have to post two side balance. So here I have paid the rent, so in a rent account I have to show to bank, because here entry is rent account debit to bank. This is a credit side, so credit is a to side and debit side is a buy side. So in a rent account I have to show rent account debit to bank 40,000, and in a bank account I have to show buy buy rent. Debit side is a So I hope it will help for you guys to understand how it will reflect in a books of account. Then next entry is I we have purchased a machinery. So in that case our money is going, so in that case money will be credit. When our money is coming, so it will be debit, and when it will be going, so it will be credit. So in that case our entry will be machinery account debit to bank, and this is called a debit side, that is a buy side. So in a machinery will be machinery account uh, in a machinery account we will post the entry to bank, and in a bank account we will post an entry buy machinery. If you see here, in a machinery account I have to show to bank, and in a bank account I have to show machinery in a buy side. If you see here is a machinery is in buy side, and in a machinery account I have shown bank in a to side. If you see here, in a machinery account I have to show to bank, and in a bank account I have to show buy machinery. Here if you see both the balances, that is a 1 lakh 1 lakh amount. I hope you are getting my points. So our next entry is outstanding salary. So for our outstanding salary we have to post an entry, salary account debit to outstanding salary. If we pay the amount of salary, so in that case salary account debit to bank. If the salary has been accrued but we have not paid that amount, in that case we have to post this entry salaries account debit to salary outstanding salary account. So in a salary account, if you see salary account, I have already prepared salary account here. If you see, because before I have paid the salary 60,000, so and here the balance is outstanding, so in that case we don't need to prepare salary account again, but we need to prepare outstanding salary account, because salary account and outstanding salary account both are different. Salary account is an expense account and outstanding salary account is a liability account. If you see salary account debit, that is a 3,000 to outstanding salary. So in a salary account I have to show to outstanding salary, and in a outstanding salary account I have to show buy salary. If you see here, it is a to side to outstanding salary, and this is a buy side. So in a outstanding salary I have to show the salary in a buy side, and uh, in a salaries account I have to show to outstanding salary. If you see, I have shown here to outstanding salary account, and in a outstanding salary account I have shown buy salaries, that is a 3,000. Then next entry is a outstanding rent. Like outstanding salary we have outstanding rent. If we paid the rent, so in that case our entry will be rent account debit to bank. But if the rent has been accrued means we have taken the services but not paid that amount to the landlord. So according to the accrual concept we have to show the entry as a rent account debit to outstanding rent. So in that case we have to show in a rent account to outstanding rent, and in a outstanding rent account by rent account. So here I have shown that rent account debit to outstanding rent, and in a outstanding rent account I have shown buy rent, that's a 5,000 rupees. So after all posting the entries, we need to close our ledgers. So our if you see here our balance is a 10 lakh rupees, and if you see here our balance is 2 lakh rupees. So our balance, net balance will be 8 lakh rupees. So we will close our balance by balance CD, because we need to total our balance here, and whatever the be the total balance, we need to deduct the balance which we have paid. So our balance will be 8 lakh rupees. So, and then like this we have to close our capital account also. So our balance here is a 10 lakh rupees, but in a debit side we don't have any balance, so we have to close here two balance CD. And in a salary account our balance is a 60,000 in a debit, but uh, in a credit side we don't have any balance, so we have to close our balance in a credit side by balance CD, that's a 63,000. Like in a rent account we have a total balance, if you see our total balance is a 45,000. So but in a credit side we don't have any balance, so we have to close our balance in a credit side, that's a 45,000. In a machinery account we have a 1 lakh balance, so our total is 1 lakh, and we need to close our balance in a credit side here. And in a salaries account, if you see our balance is in a credit side, so it will be closed in a debit side to balance CD. CD means carried down. And if you see outstanding in a outstanding rent, we have a balance in a credit side, that's a 5,000, and then it will be closed in a debit side to balance CD, that's a 5,000. After that, in next month we also need to open these balances. So if you see here, our balance always be open in a opposite side. If you see where we have closed our balance, so if you see here I have close close the bank account in a credit side, so it will be open in a debit side. And capital account close in a debit side, so it will be open in a next month in a credit side. Like in a salary account I have closed the balance in a credit side, so it will be open in a debit side. And like rent account I have closed this balance in a credit side, so it will be open in a debit side. Always the balance which we have closed earlier, so it will be open opposite side. So here I have closed the machinery account balance in a credit side, so it will be open in a debit side in a next month. And here I have closed the outstanding salary balance in a credit side, so it will be open in a I have closed the balance in a debit side, it will be open in a credit side, like this. I have closed the rent account in a credit debit side, so it will be open in a credit side. I hope guys it will helpful for you to understand about the ledger. I am going to tell you about the trial balance here. If you see here in a bank account, our balance on 1st April 2024 is a 8 lakh in a debit side. So uh, whenever I prepare the trial balance, so we need to know what we mean by the trial balance. So trial balance show us the balancing figure of debit and credit. Trial balance is a statement showing the balances of ledger, debit and credit. Here we show the heads of account, debit then credit. uh, we first is the bank account balance, that's a 8 lakh, that is in debit. You have to see the balance of 1st April 1st May 2024. We have a debit balance 8 lakh, I have shown here. Then we have a capital account balance on 1st May 2024, that is in credit side. If you see here, that is a 10 lakh rupees. Then we have a salaries account, which is in a debit side. If you see here, 63,000. Then we have a machinery account. If you see here, that's a 1 lakh rupees. Then we have a outstanding salary account here. If you see, that's a 3,000. Outstanding salary account is a 3,000. Then we have a rent account. If you see here, our rent is a 45,000. Then we have a outstanding rent, that's a 5,000 balance, and our total balance is 10 lakh 8,000. That's a trial balance. I hope it will help you to understand how these entry is reflected in a books of account. Guys, I have prepared some entries for you. These entries, you have to work on it and prepare ledger and also the trial balance for it. I'm not going to post this entry in our ledger and trial balance. It is your homework that you have to make entries, and if you have any suggestions or comments, so please let me know. Thank you guys. Please subscribe my channel. If you have any questions, so please put it in the comment and I'll give you a reply. Thanks guys. Thanks.